Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 61st episode of the Sensational ArtaCast with your sensational hosts, Eddie and me. It was a while. We were both busy, sadly. We have kind of a lot of to do outside of Lorcana, sadly, so the episodes are a bit not that regular that you are used to. We feel sorry about that. But yeah, and we also didn't, at least I couldn't test yet the new cards, but we have all revealed now, and I think it's worth talking about a lot of cards from the new set. I think a lot of cards could shake up, especially core constructed. Infinity, I'm not so sure about that, but we will talk about that later. I think because the last episode was like not many cards revealed, so we'll talk about everything I think that's worth mentioning.
Yeah.
And yeah, Eddie, what's your overall impression of the new set? I think you're still excited about your toys, right?
Yeah.
What's your conclusion about the set, if you can
Um,
say that?
yeah, it's an interesting question. My overall excitement for the set is super high. I think that I don't know, the set to me has just like a good vibe, but then when going through to try and pick out highlight cards for recording this, I was like, oh, what's actually good? And it's kind of like so I sort of got a little bit stuck of I think there are a lot of potentially playable things here. I think what you have in essence is a set that has really, really high potential and will be very influential post rotation. Everything, there's
Yeah.
lots of interesting stuff to do here. There are lots of interesting cards that take decks in new directions and enable new things. I'm not sure too many of them have the potential to disrupt Infinity or really to disrupt that post rotation core constructed.
hmm
Until we see things like Blurple in its current form leave, until we see things like Dogs leave, we know we don't have things that will cause massive upset to those decks. There are plenty of fine role playing additions here, but for me as well, because there's no DLC for core constructed pre rotation now. My mind is kicking into what does the landscape look like after rotation, and from that perspective, this is obviously very, very interesting. But I don't see too much that's going to upend things before that. I don't know about you. Is that kind of similar to how you feel?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Um, my feeling is the power level of the set is a bit lower than like last sets, but that's like just a feeling. I was also wrong about some cards in the past, so it feels a bit less powerful in general. But we have potential new archetypes for sure, and that's cool. Especially like you said, like post rotation, where we just rethink about some cards, and if they don't reprint Sale and Tipo, for instance, then we have a new and also the dog stuff rotates out. Then I think
Yeah,
like Steel Song is pretty resilient to rotation like this,
yeah.
but the rest is like pretty for
Well,
now
still,
like unplayable. Yeah,
yeah. Steel Song notably loses dock, which is a big part of its engine. It has to find a new
yeah,
way
that's
to
true. That's
draw
true. Yeah,
cards. Um,
yeah.
So once again, just like with last rotation, it all comes down to what this first set afterwards looks like. We know
Mm-hmm.
there's not going to be a reprint set this time, so we shouldn't see a repeat
Mm-hmm.
of what happened, where it's like, oh, last in the last rotation, Blurple kind of that was an anomaly, right? Because Blurple in Fabled picked up. It was a deck that was rising, and then it picked up
Mm-hmm.
Dumbo and lost like nothing. The story of why it
Yeah.
was amazing was that every other deck lost key parts of their strategy, and Blurple lost nothing at all. Like it just
Bell maybe,
basically.
but it's the only card that I really lost. Oh,
Yeah,
Popsicle, I mean, like,
yeah,
not
sure.
Bell, like Popsicle,
It
but
lost
yeah.
Popsicle Bell, which is how it was playing before rotation, but it was still an
Yeah.
extremely functional core. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
we know that that's not going to happen. We're not going to have such a density of reprints where that's going to happen. So you do have to take a better look at some of these like rising archetypes right now. So like I have tested with the toys deck, for example, just red yellow, and what I've seen is reassuring enough that post rotation, it's very much something to look at for sure. And
Mhm,
I'll probably play it pre rotation as well. It's fun enough, it's resilient enough, it draws a ton of cards. I've
mhm,
seen people build it in some various directions. I'll probably share my list next week when I'm a little more happy with it and we start to maybe push some decks. But the uh, the overall feeling for now is that like as long as you play some kind of board wipes in it, you very much can just play a on curve, draw some cards while questing a little, then sweep the board, and you have more cards in hand than your opponent. A fair grindy matchup, like a fair grindy deck that's yeah pretty resilient and lines up
mhm,
well into a few different things. So there are a few things like that. There are a few things that make me feel that way going into this set, and yeah, because we don't have core DLCs, we got a couple of CCQs around. Most people's attention is on Infinity for the time being.
mhm,
I think it's perfectly like for me personally, the next big event that I will play in is the LCQ in September, and that's post
mhm,
rotation.
mhm,
Um, so for me, I'm really trying not to let my opinion of stuff get too shaped by pre-rotation. I'm trying to think about,
mhm,
you know, so there are interactions that like undoubtedly will be good and relevant in this set 12 core constructed format, like curving Dale into Elsa, for example, stands out as something that is proving to be quite good.
that
I
is
don't,
crazy, yeah.
I'm trying not to like care too much about that because whatever, like this happens at the end of rotation in every TCG. Like you get to this point
Mhm,
where you have a full like we used to call it like we used to call them summer decks because they exist. It's interesting the way that Lorcana's rotation happens is exactly the same timing as Magic's rotation used to happen, and you used to have these like wild, hazy, lazy summers of just going nuts with these stacked formats that are just
mhm.
approaching rotation, and you get like small windows to do some crazy stuff when you have the highest number of sets in the core format. Um, like I
Maybe they
think
will
that's
print
cool.
Elsa though.
Yeah, I mean,
The-
if they re- if they reprint Elsa, then they'd also have to they'll have to find a player to replace me at least. Like they'll have to go they'll have to attract net plus one player at least in addition to reprinting Elsa.
Imagine
Um,
first two cards reprinted Genie and Elsa. Genie, Elsa, Tifo.
oh yeah, I mean
That
if
would
that
be
happened, I really do think I would just walk forever. Yeah, like that's just that's
that's a
I
nightmare,
think
yeah.
for me it's like I understand that those cards are really really good and they can exist in core, that's fine. um but for me it's
Not
all
forever.
about like freshness and the ability to
Yeah.
create, and a lot of my negative feelings towards cards aren't driven by them being like innately broken and unbeatable. They are driven by the amount that they constrain creativity and how much I just want to try and create something new in a new environment. So I'm really crossing my
That
fingers that
makes
we don't
sense,
see any
yeah.
wild reprints like that. We could, you know, there was absolutely no need before to reprint Hades in Fabled, but it happened,
I think
and
there is,
and
yeah,
something
I
like
think
that could
there's no
happen
need
again.
for reprints at all. I don't think
No,
there's any card that I think must be reprinted or something. Um,
no, and that's one of the great things about this game, right? Is that it's like it
yeah,
doesn't have these. We don't have too many of these core balancing. They're typically like low cost cards um, that some games have. These things that are kind of essential 1, 2, and 3 cost cards. If they go away, they really do change the game often for the worse. So I think there isn't too much need for things
Yeah,
like that. These things could all be
yeah.
functionally reprinted, which is good. So yeah, overall, my thoughts and feelings on the set are positive. I think there's tons to build around here. I think I went and did the Discord main stage um with the dev team
Uh-huh.
on this, and got to have a really good conversation with them. Yeah, it was really nice to be invited to that as well. That was a good privilege. And yeah, one of the themes that kept coming up is like these archetypes that are being introduced. They feel a lot deeper than they used to feel. Like toys, for example, is a lot deeper than when they first tried to make like allies work. Um, the
Uh-huh.
the the
Uh-huh.
the thematic the thematic archetypes in the game, there's been a distinct change in design. It feels deeper. There are more choices. You can go in different directions, incorporate multiple colors. So I think it's a good time. There are so many signals here in this set that make me feel positive about the future of the game, which is great. And it might not change everything today, but like if you want the game to improve and keep getting better, then there's enough to like about this set, I think, for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, with this introduction, I think we should start talking about the most. I think we are so good, yeah, that we can say to you which card you need to look out for in your booster packs, in your packs. No, I think the most cards we will cover today, I think that are probably maybe there are some underdogs we just don't have in mind now, but I think if you want to have a good overview over the good cards, we could say, I think that's we're hopefully able to cover that. So, um, do you want to start, ID? Which is the first card you want to talk about, or
Yeah,
which you think is yeah?
I'm gonna start with like not a flashy card at all, like
Uh-huh.
almost the opposite of a flashy card. And it's a Robin Hood Desert Wanderer, one cost,
The one drop.
1/3.
Hmm.
Yeah, Sapphire Robin Hood. This is it's obvious why this is an influential card. It introduces a one drop shift target for the 5 cost Robin Hood again, for blue
Uh-huh.
steel decks, which is something that has historically been pretty good. I at first thought to myself, um, you know, maybe this shift Robin isn't as good as it was in the past because the sort of card economy in general has changed. The amount that you value that, like, you present this big willpower threat where it's like, okay, you have to remove it, and when you do, it replaces itself. I think in general, it might sound a bit weird, but that card is maybe worth a little less. There are lots of opportunities where you kind of where like you might be looking to demona them the same turn, that sort of thing, and they're going to draw a card anyway, and you can just sequence it where they don't end up net +1 card, or lots of these mirrored effects like that where it feels less relevant. I don't know. Do you think there's any truth to that?
Yeah, I think it's very less. I think for the most part, why it's less relevant for me is like that you don't sing whole new world with it. Basically, I think that
Yeah.
the big part of Robin Hood was to sing whole new world on turn three sometimes, or like it's a great singer. It was a great singer for whole new world. I think he didn't play the card in non whole new world decks, if I recall that correctly. So maybe if yeah, maybe then it's a bit fair. I would agree with you. I
Mm,
think it's probably a bit fair then if you don't sing on your word with it. I think
it's
that's a big
it's a
part
lot
for
more fair. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because like you in the past in Steel Sound decks, you searched really for good singers for whole new world. And then did you look for like either the Queen or Robin Hood, like were the main like
Hmm.
outside of Ariel the main choices you had, like or the Beast or something. But Beast is very late, but you needed a shifted singer, and I think
Yeah.
the Robin Hood was a very good choice for that. And um, yeah, outside of that, maybe post rotation, the Blue Steel, maybe that's something. Yeah, shifted turn three, quest for two. Yeah, yeah, maybe it's good enough. Could still be
It's
like
definitely like
yeah.
it's always going to be playable, and it's always going to, now that we're
Yeah,
back to having that kind of pattern in the game of play a reasonable one drop, shift on turn three, potentially sing a 5 cost song, it does limit it.
yeah.
It forces you to change the way you evaluate these 5 cost songs again, and it means that every 5
Hmm.
cost song that comes from here on out, you have to think very carefully about. I
Yeah,
mean,
there's this new there is this new, which I think we talk about it anyway, like this new
yeah,
blue song, for instance, this which is like How Far I Go, but gives your characters what if you sing it,
yep,
also, which could be. I think it's very meaningful in general that it costs 5 instead of 4. Maybe I'm a bit more doubtful on that card, honestly, because like I think
yeah,
5 cost is so much worse than 4, because you need to sing it then, because otherwise the ramping, it doesn't really mean anything to ramp on that, if you hard cast it, for instance. But in the past, it was like sometimes reasonable to go like turn 2 ramp, turn 3 ramp. But what do you do on turn 3? You I mean, okay, we have to look about differently, if they lose turn to ramp, which
yeah,
I need to reconfigure my brain,
yeah,
then it's maybe a different world, and it's like fits better in the curve. Maybe you play in blue decks than like the 3 cost Mickey and then that or something. But it's like a turn later then, and I don't know. I was a bit more doubtful when I saw the card first. I think it's generally way worse than Alphago, but
yeah. Yeah, I think
yeah,
so
still
too.
not a bad card.
But
Also, yeah,
it's on my list as like a very playable card, and it's yeah, we should talk about it now because it's tied so much to this Robin Hood. Like any time I've been super impressed by this, it's been off a shifted turn three Robin Hood, and that's
yeah,
where it's kind of looked best as well. Obviously, the ward is super relevant. I think it's a very interesting card, for blue steel in particular, where like
yeah.
so decks like those kind of more curve out Kiwi Bird style blue steel decks, they benefit the most from this ward text. Like for them, the text of like
Hmm.
giving everything ward is super relevant because trying to ward up their
Hmm.
board is a thing they're already doing pretty well, and it gives you another way to do that. But the ramping is less relevant for them, right? Because they're just like a curve out deck. So the one version of the deck is more like wants the how far I'll go a bit more. The other version benefits a lot more from this secondary text on it. I think it'll be interesting to see what this card does. Of course, it's super relevant for any of the big Sapphire ramp decks. They might want to think about this.
Hmm.
A how far I'll go effect is something that they'll all be considering definitely. Um, whether it's something they want to include again, at Uninkable and at 5. Obviously, it's a different value proposition as how far I go. But for me, I completely agree. I think the math of where it fits into the curve depends so much on what happens to these 2 cost ramp effects post rotation, because
Hmm.
you will still have one jump ahead, right? Like that's still a thing that's
Yeah,
you're going to have access to.
and
But the
then it's awkward
key,
already. Like,
exactly, the key with these
yeah.
2 cost ramp effects is first of all there are 8 of them. There are 8 inkable ones. You have 4 sales and 4 typos. You can very reliably find them. They're inkable in the late game. One jump ahead is not on the same plane of existence as Sale or Tipo. Um, you can't build in such a way to consistently skip 2 to 4 once you only have 4 copies of this
Hmm.
effect in your deck. You have to find it every time. So you might fall back to skipping 3 to 5, in which case something like this fits that curve a little better, and those decks essentially play one turn behind. Um, yeah, really, really interesting to see what the future of these decks will be. I think
Hmm.
cutting off their inkable 2 cost ramp will be the probably the biggest shake-up we've seen in the fundamentals of the game ever. Um,
Yeah.
so I think I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with that. But yeah, this like what else can I do is certainly a strong role player at that, and will almost definitely find a place in some of these ramp decks if they continue to exist post rotation and pre rotation. I still think it's a good thing to do off a shifted Robin Hood. That's not very controversial, but the question is like, how consistently are
Yeah.
you doing that? Because when you hard cast this on your 5 ink turn, that's a weak turn, right? Like that is you're not happy about that.
Yeah. It's probably not good enough. Yeah. Um. The next. I think we can talk about all these cards together. Is
Yep,
like the new dwarfs and Snow White,
yep.
which I think we should just shortly talk about. I think the dwarfs in general are all like a bit. I don't want to say underwhelming, but like not like super crazy. Like in
Mm,
itself, like they are all like pretty fair on the curve, and nothing stands really out to me. The Snow
yeah.
White is a really good card in general. I think like it's a good card for sure. I think the effect is good. The I think it's a good card, but probably I don't know how you say it. Probably not justifying playing a lot of. And these two spells, which all on paper look like strong cards, like the one is
Mm,
saying, um, you search your deck for a princess card and reveal it, and that's very a tutor is very rare in the game.
yep.
So it looks on paper like strong, but um, it costs 5 and is basically doing nothing. Like it reminds me a lot on like Finders Keepers, and Finders Keepers is too slow right now, or could be also too slow in the future. And the other card with the right behind you, draw a card if you have a 7 dwarfs character and the princess character in play. You may play a 7 dwarfs character for free, which there are some very expensive ones, like
Yep.
pretty big characters.
Yeah.
I
There's
don't know. What do you
Dopey and
think about all of
Grumpy.
that? Um,
Yeah, I mean,
what do you? I'm but it for me it feels like not quite there, but I don't know how you see it.
yeah, so I have done some testing of the set and I've kind of seen this in action. The the most interesting card to me by far is right behind you. It's the thing that enables you to do
Yeah.
like crazy powerful stuff early. And that is
Mm-hmm.
put a dopey or a grumpy into play. So you can play your 3/8 that quests for 2, um, or your 7/7 on turn 3. So a turn 3 7/7 on the play is quite hard to beat, but it's not impossible to beat, which is like
Yeah.
it's putting a 7/7 into play on turn 3 does not end the game, as I found many times. Like I've been playing toys and I played into this dwarves deck and they've done the thing against me, and just go like they play their 7/7, then they quest with it because what else are you doing with it? And I
Yeah.
just candy drift my 2-drop into it, kill it, and draw a card, and just think, okay,
Mm,
now what? And then their deck does nothing after that. Um, it's really it's so much more powerful than what some of these like thematic archetypes were doing before. Like what I've said, like these kind
mm-hmm.
of on theme, on franchise decks that are established within the same set. It's so much closer to being super viable than the ones have been in the past, and
Mm-hmm.
it makes it hard to evaluate because oftentimes, like the example I always think of is like when the madrigals were first introduced, like there was a lot of support there. They put stuff in. It was roundly unplayable. The deck was terrible. But these archetypes are getting much closer. They're a lot more pushed. But from what I've seen, it's not consistent enough that it's worth all the investment, right? Like that's sometimes putting a 7/7 into play on turn 3, or that's sometimes tutoring and drawing 2 and gaining 2 lore on your 5 ink turn. These There are too many conditions in a game that's like far too consistent. These other decks are just doing just as powerful stuff on a much more consistent basis.
Yeah.
And you
I
you
think the
always have
5
to
cost card is not
yeah,
playable. I think
you have to
that's
point back to like to be to me, the standout decks doing wildly unfair things are green, blue, and dogs. Like
uh
how can you put any of this on that level? Like putting a 7/7 into play on turn 3 is just it just doesn't compare to like putting your tramp into play, which is a 2/6, and also finds your under the sea for essentially like a combo win, or finds your Chromacon that your opponent's deck has no ability to remove. Um, these things are not on the
and
same
then your
level.
2 cost tramp just deals with the 7/7
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
because you buff your small
Yeah, Like that's that's
No.
that's one of the things that you have to keep in mind is like the actual kind of rules of the format, which is a turn 3/7/7 looks really impressive, but then all you're doing with it is questing, and then you think, oh, what
Hmm.
kills the 7/7? Nothing. And the actual answer is your opponent's Bobby kills your 7/7 when it gets +6 from a tramp, and then they quest for lethal. And you're like, oh, oh, yeah, of course, we're
Yeah.
not
Also,
playing
there are
fair at
cards
all.
like Criminal Minds or something. I mean, there are answers to a card
Yeah,
like
there are.
that. It's
Yeah,
not
and there
like
are a lot
yeah,
more.
yeah,
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 there are cards in this set that I'm
yeah,
sure we'll talk about as well.
yeah.
They are worth.
Oh,
It's worth evaluating as a deck. There is something here, but for me, I won't be spending a lot of time on it. Again, it'll be worth another look post rotation, but yeah, that's where I stand on it.
yeah, makes sense. Um, yeah. Is there next one for you? What do you want to talk about?
Ooh, let me bring up my list. Oh, while we're looking at Amethyst cards, I want to talk
Mm-hmm.
again about the legendary Luisa Madrigal.
Oh, really?
Yes, this is a card that I want to bring up because my gut reaction to it was like, I don't see it as being that good. This is consistently overperformed in testing. This is,
Oh, really?
yeah, a good deal better than it appears on paper. I actually think it's one of the better legendaries in the set. Um, it just that repeatability of that effect means so much more in practice than it looks like on paper. I think it's a very playable card. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
cool. Okay.
yeah, I've been quite surprised by it. Um, it does so much, and you don't have to play a ton of the enablers. It's just fits into a lot of the game plan of what a lot of these Amethyst decks are already doing. Um, it's been so punishing. There are things where like you quest once with something that has 3 strength, and then a shift happens out of nowhere. The shift obviously comes at a low cost, which makes it, which
Mm-hmm.
means they have tons of ink left over. They do like 3 activations in a turn or something, and you just lose your entire board. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the card is really good. I've gone from like cold on it to okay, it could be okay to now I really do think it's one of the better legendaries in the set. Um,
Okay,
and
last time we
it
didn't know the shift target. The shift
yeah,
target is decent.
that's what really helps
Yeah,
is that you have this
yeah,
1 cost challenger two. Um, yeah, that changes everything, right? Is having this valid,
yeah.
viable, very playable shift target. Um, yeah, the card's solid, super solid. Um,
Okay, cool.
yeah, and I wanted
Um,
to just go on record to say that. I wanted to say that I was
yeah, yeah. That's
my
good
gut
to see. That.
now that we see the shift target, like my gut reaction to it is it was definitely wrong, and it's a super playable card. Yeah, yeah. And thinking about the other legendaries, I've got to put it up there. It's one of the best ones. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also the which I also find I don't know if that's like playable, but I thought like this. I have to say I didn't test yet, but like the Frozone or how is it called
yeah,
seems like a very good card to me. In a vacuum, like it's not
yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know how good all these super cards are. They seem a bit mid, but in general, this is a crazy good card. This is like I don't know. This card does so much for its for yeah. I mean, it's uninkable, but it's like the 6 cost 6 for quest for 2 also, and
Yeah,
so it reminds you a lot on Maui. But if you have another super character in play, you may extra chosen opposing character. So it's like a Giga Elsa also. I don't know. It's like card does much for me in general. I think it's if there are a lot of super cards that are super, then oh,
do you
nice.
see? You got my enchanted Frozone.
I- Nice.
Not
That is
bad, huh?
oh, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I think that's how. What do you think about that? It's do you agree with me or do you think it's like
Yeah, totally. Like,
yeah, yeah,
obviously,
yeah, okay.
it's so easy to just throw it. Any card like this that's like a high cost uninkable is so easy to discredit or just think, let's move on. But to me, it feels like it does that sort of Elsa role. If there is any kind of density of playable other supers, then it's a
Yeah.
it's a it's a
I mean,
big
this is
thing
never
that
bad.
no,
It's
it's
never
not.
a dead card. I like that.
By the way, can I show you what else I
Um,
pulled?
yeah, no, I get
of
even more jealous. Oh, the Merida. This is, by the way, I don't know. Maybe I'm also wrong on that, but it's completely overrated. People seem to be excited about that, but I think I don't see that card at all. I don't know how you see it, but I could also be wrong. I don't
No, I
think
think
that
I
card
sort
is.
of agree. Early testing kind of suggested it's not that amazing.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
you have to play. Like people say, like you play this and then you sing like in Infinity, you like grab your sword, but then you need another singer, and you need to play grab your sword, which also 5
Mm,
costs uninkable. You need to play her, which is an uninkable, and this card does so often nothing, and you don't want to
yeah.
play this other stupid card into your deck. I don't know.
No, I
But
sort of
yeah.
agree, yeah. No, I
Uh,
as a side note,
yeah.
I got my like preview product from Ravensburger. Thank you, Ravensburger, for sending me um some cards to have a look at early and to do some videos and stuff. And I got one box, one trove, and one pre-release kit. And I got Iconic Merida, Enchanted Frozone, and
The Marina
Enchanted.
is iconic.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
Iconic Merida. Yeah,
I
and I also got this
what?
Family Scattered.
What?
I got two. I got two Enchanteds and an Iconic in that. And yeah,
Crazy.
by the time this episode's out, like I'm sure I would have shared a couple of the clips because I recorded a video of me opening the box and opening the pre-release kit. I'm sure I would have shared them um by the time the video goes up. But you know,
That's a box.
last time that last time that these videos went up of people kind of sharing their review product and stuff that they get sent so that they can do some videos. People were saying making a lot of accusations about like juiced boosters and stuff, and saying like, "Oh, the content creators get sent such like boxes with amazing stuff in them." And I was just opening these cards, and I just all I could think is like, there's no way this is going to look legitimate. There's just no way this is going to look like anything other than completely rigged. And I mean, all I can tell you, hand on heart, is it's not rigged. It's just what the luck of the draw of what you got sent. I just happened to be the lucky one this time round. Um, yeah, so I'm sure you'll see clips on that of my Twitter soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, on
Oh,
Frozone, that kind of just distracted me there. I
yeah,
think that's a legitimate card. It's a strong role player. It's again something you have to take a close look at for sure.
yeah. Um, when we are at Amethyst, and I think the last card in Amethyst we could talk about, which I also like very underwhelmed. People seem to be excited. Is this Mordu, this bear? Like,
Oh yeah,
I don't know. Um, I think it's too limiting, this effect. I don't know. Um, it's also a card that's hard to evaluate for me, but it's like
yeah,
my feeling is like it's too limiting because it also like is for afterward. So what you do with this, you put the 3 quester in play, but your clock doesn't get more than 3 when you play this. So you play this, and your opponent knows you won't get more than 3 lore for as long as this card is on the board. So maybe he doesn't care at all. I mean, if you own 17, then he has to care. But if not, then I don't think this card helps. I don't know which archetype this card could help. Maybe in a obviously in a deck like that plays a low amount of characters like Amethyst, but that's hard to imagine actually. An Amethyst deck with a low amount of characters. I don't know. What do you think about it? Um,
It's I feel exactly the same as you. I think it's like
okay.
it's a pretty high payoff. It's obviously powerful, but it's asking a lot of you. It's asking you to not play by some of the fundamental rules of this game of like curve out, which is just like like you have to do so many things that don't win you the game to make this good. Like,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
what are you doing? Are you building to enable it? Are you building to not do that? Well, then you're building to lose
Yeah,
the
that's the
game
problem for me
because you
too.
you then don't draw your Mordu, which you like, built around. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it.
I play only 4 characters, 4 modules,
Yeah,
and
and I have
that
no way
what?
of winning the game. Brilliant.
Yeah.
No, don't see it
So
myself.
I think that's Amethyst for me. I
Oh,
don't
I want
know
one
if you have
more
a
on Amethyst
yeah.
just real quickly. Is the Pepper Madrigal Calm Before the Storm? 3 cost, 3/4,
Uh,
uninkable.
and what? This one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Again, it's like you often are playing this on the same turn that you move some damage with something else, like with Cheshire Cat or something, and then you get your card back. And then the second time you activate with it, you really feel like you got your value. I don't think it's the most amazing format defining card ever, but this does good things. It's a playable card.
Yeah, I would doubt it a bit more, but maybe I'm too low. I think you have to have the Cheshire Cat in play. Then you play this on turn 5. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe I'm too low on it. Um, yeah. Um, I mean, you can play this on turn 3 and then turn 4. Yeah, maybe I'm too low on it. Could
Yeah,
be
it
wrong.
pairs really nicely with the Shift Louisa.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
again,
That's true. Yeah, that's
and once you have all those things kind of firing off, it gets a lot better. And there's an engine that you can build there that's mostly based on already very playable cards, and yeah, super easy to assemble. It's
mhm.
another one of these things that I was again in a vacuum. I was pretty low, and then you kind of see it come together, and you think, oh, okay, this is actually reasonably easy to put the pieces together, and then it starts to go kind of crazy. And all I'll say is like, just imagine if when your opponent activated their Cheshire Cat, they also drew a card, because that
Mhm.
happens a lot,
Yeah, okay,
and
that's
and
yeah.
that is like
Okay, yeah,
busted.
that's
That's busted beyond busted. So, and it's easy to do. So yeah, that's my case for Pepper.
yeah, okay, that's cool. Um, do we want to talk about the first? I think in a vacuum, yeah, when I don't
Hmm.
see other cards or like synergies or something, the best card of the set for me is like this Dale legendary card,
Yep.
which is like insane effect. It's Focus 04. Quest for 2 during challenges, your carriers deal damage with their willpower instead of their strength. And I initially thought it's only when you challenge, but it's like during challenges. So it's like
Yep.
also when your opponent. So this is basically a 4/4, so you can
Hmm.
say. And I think it's a first of all, super versatile card, a
Hmm.
super crazy build around card. It reminds me a lot on Comic Con. Like you play this and quest out with your stuff, and your stuff is unkillable basically because you play this in a deck full of like 0/4 one costs and stuff, and then you play this quest out, and your opponent can't trade. or yeah, he doesn't want to trade. So it's like an inkable Comic Con for me in its worst case.
Hmm.
But in its best case, it's like uh, it helps you also trading yourself, and I think this is super powerful. The only problem about this card is like, especially when we look on Infinity, for instance, like there are a lot of counterplay to a card like this,
Hmm.
like all this like Muses, Sisu stuff. Um, are still targetable but they're still targetable by this. So like there's easy counterplay in Infinity. In core, I would be really surprised if this not seems, especially I think this will go straight up into dogs. And especially um like replaces like this Mickey Mouse or something, or maybe even Comic Con. I think this is insane card. I don't know how you see it. Maybe I'm too high on it. But I think this is incredible for me. Like I don't know. It's like for me easily the best card of the set in a vacuum. You
Yeah,
don't need much
it's
support for this.
yeah, it's definitely like the chase legendary of the set, right? Like this is the one that will be commanding the
Yeah,
high prices, and this is what people are going after. Um, yeah, there are tons of use cases. Like obviously, we point out the fact that you can just curve this into Elsa in Amber Amethyst. It plays so nicely with so many of the cards that are already in these decks. Generally the way that a lot of these decks are built, everything has high willpower, low strength. The only thing you have to be careful of is that like this is still an under the sea format. This is an under the
yeah,
sea
yeah.
game, and decks that are heavily built around Dale can get massively blown out by under the sea. But that's not enough to make you not want to play something as strong as this. Yeah, it's very, very good. It makes me think very carefully about what do I do to beat this. When this gets curved into an Elsa Fifth Spirit after, already playing like a tree, if you just go one drop tree, Dale, Elsa, yeah, it's a wrap. It's
I don't.
very,
I
very
think
strong start to the game.
this will put dogs like for me like this is crazy. Like I think dogs will be unbeatable, and then not unbeatable in the next set, but like this is so crazy addition to dogs. It's insane for me. Like I don't know. Feels like crazy. I don't know. Existing decks. I don't see that much like um upgrades than dogs, and dogs didn't need it to be already a really powerful deck. And like this is like a slam dunk in dogs decks. I think um, it's crazy. Like all
Yeah, I mean,
your one cost ladies and stuff. It's so crazy. You can just quest out with this. It's like Comic Con for me, but you still have a two quester. I don't know.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
insane for me. Like
it's significantly easier to remove than the Chromicon, which would make me doubt like whether it's a direct replacement for Chromicon. But it gives you this extra body in your deck, which also functions close to a Chromicon. You know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not exactly like a Comic Con, of course, but it's like inkable and also like your opponent can't quest when you have this card in your deck. That's so
Yeah.
crazy. It's like a cricky also. Like
Yep.
it's insane for me. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. It
such a
read.
crazy card for dogs for me. Like
Yeah, it's like a
it's
cricky that's
insane.
always on, persists every single turn. It's a combat trick. It's also like completely changes the math of tons and tons of your cards.
Yeah.
It's
I
yeah,
imagine like
crazy
Purple
good.
Steel, which could be like one of the better decks into dogs. And you don't have like the strength or something for this card. You can't win basically. Your
Yeah.
opponent makes so many favorable trades. It's insane. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think it's for sure one of the best cards of the set. Like,
Yeah, making
yeah,
your daisies fight as 4/4s, making your ladies fight as 3/3s. It's just,
this is
it's
insane.
like it's almost just not believable. And it's another one of those reasons
Uh,
where it's like playing against dogs already makes me feel like I don't know. It's so hard to like actually say how it makes me feel without like
yeah. Also,
it's
like,
I just
yeah. Sorry.
no, I just I'm trying to like find. I'm trying to
No,
find a
if I
way
just
of
see.
like not being too dramatic, but like it's very dramatic. When I play against dogs, I feel like maybe life isn't so good. Like maybe all of this. Like, what's the point of all of this? I don't need any more stuff in that deck. So that's like one of the reasons why it's like I don't um I don't want to think too much about this core format. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
it's a short-lived high power format where good stuff mostly gets better. Fine. There's tons of fun stuff to be thinking about for post rotation, but until then, I just think whatever,
No,
just let it happen. I'm letting it wash over me. I'm so sick of dogs. It's so boring to me. But it's always going to happen at
yeah,
the end of
not
a
only for
format.
you.
It's always going to happen at the end of a format. I play a lot of this game, and by the time something rotates, I've seen it a lot. So it's just a fatigue thing. It's like I don't need to see new tools for dogs, really. Um, I
Speaking of upgrades for dogs,
yeah.
no, I don't think this is an upgrade for dogs. You don't play it in dogs, I think, but it's like very close to an inkable willow for me. This ham, or how's
Yeah,
it called?
yeah,
Ham. Um, yeah, I think it's like a better stat. It's not a willow because you can't play another character in that turn
mm,
when you play this. So like especially dogs, it does help you for like turn 3 tramping. But yeah, I think like especially like in a deck like Amber Amethyst or something,
yeah.
where like this willow was a bit clunky and stuff. So I think this is a very solid card. I think we got a lot of these cards. Yeah, no, not a lot, but we got some cards of this, but they were all uninkable. This is an inkable, basically ramp, you can say. I think this
Yeah,
is could also see play. I think
yeah. I
I
completely
don't
agree.
know.
It's
Yeah,
like you say, it's weaker in those cases where you want to go tree plus one drop, so it's weaker for dogs. But for people that are looking to
yeah,
use tree in a fair way, like Amber Steel or Amber Amethyst, notably, you know, that
yeah,
deck wanted 8 2-cost characters that effectively ramp you to 4, right? So if your
yeah.
main point is deploy a character on turn 2, play a Dale or a Genie the turn after, and then follow up with Elsa, yeah, it's just extra ways of doing that and feels remarkably strong
Yeah,
to me. It's worth
yeah,
noting as well that like this body feels like slightly, 2-3. It's not the most impressive stats. It's gonna it's often gonna lose out to a trade up. But you exert it and then play your Dale that turn. At least it rumbles as a 3-3, right? Like
mhm,
seems
mhm.
good. You can take out my
Yeah,
you now have to take a straight trade with my 2-drop 3-3, which is on rate just to stop me ramping again. I think that's a fine deal.
yeah. And also when we are on Ember, I want to say something that I regret saying last time. I thought about this Woody more, and I think this Woody is like pretty busted,
Yeah,
especially
it's a great card.
like, yeah, especially past rotation. Um, yeah, I somehow yeah, didn't think about when I initially. So I think this is crazy bastard if you shift this. Obviously, we didn't know if we get a one cost, but we got a one cost. So the problem is, I really hate the card design of the card. I think it's horrible card design. I have to say, because like that's another of these cards which I really hate to exist, which are incredible shifted but super nonsense, not shifted.
Mm,
It goes in the same category than Diablo and Webby for me, which cards I really hate to exist. Because yeah, this card is basically nothing if you're not shifted. If you have the high roll, it's really hard to beat for your opponent. Um, yeah, I don't want to be too negative, but I think this is a crazy, like, you can have non games with this card. I
mm.
think, but if you don't shift it, it's probably a bit weak. I don't know how you see it, but I think it's shifted. It's hard to beat. I think probably. I don't know
Yeah, totally.
how you see
It's
it.
yeah, that's there are high roll openings with this that have echoes of those other cards you mentioned. Of you go first, you play a Woody, you play a Bullseye, you shift a Woody, and put a Exerted Rex into play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best of luck to you, my friend. Like, now what? Well, of course, the now
Yeah.
what is they deploy 3/1 drops and then a Chromicon and you lose anyway. But the yeah, those patterns are very, very strong. And again, like post rotation is
Yeah.
something you have to think about significantly
Yeah.
here. It's one of the most powerful things you can do starting the game out at the
On
moment.
turn 3. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So as all the rest of those super powerful openings fade away, this one is going nowhere. It's here to stay for quite some time. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun playing with it. It's probably something that I'll tire of because I've already played quite a lot of mirrors where they go first and then they do the thing first. And I'm like, oh, okay. I need to find some ways of beating
Yeah.
that. But yeah, certainly between Woody and Dale, which by the way, you can play Dale in the toys deck. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter that he's not a toy, and then it makes your shift Woody a
Yeah.
5/5, and all your
Yeah.
toy characters get +1 willpower. Yeah, leaking the source. Dale can be played in these decks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Of course, that fixes the biggest problem with the card, which is that it gets traded into reasonably easily, but not so true when there's a Dale on the scene. So, yeah, thinking about some ways of how I combat that. I mean, of course, these brawl type effects, these Sisu type effects, feel like they might be very important moving forward.
Yeah. Kit. Cloud Kicker, please.
Now, Kit is a card that
I mean, we
never
have a
ever
kid. We
should.
have a baby kid. Yeah.
Yeah, but come on, it's no Kit. It doesn't sing Mother Knows
Yeah.
Best. It doesn't sing Friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Sad. We have to live with that. What else do we have? I think what I also really like is what I like to build around a bit, like is this new Helga Sinclair. I don't know. I think that's a good payoff for not too much investment. That's a 4-cost 5/4. If 2 or
Hmm.
more cards were put into this good turn, you pay 2 less to play this character. Um, I think you can easily, for instance, like think strike a good match or play it
Yep.
just and play this. I think it's not too hard. Maybe the payoff, maybe it's too hard to make this. I think it looks like it's like harder to make this work probably. But I mean, if you play a 2-cost 5/4, that's always good. Can never be bad. So like, um, could be something that is worth building around a bit. What do you think about about all? Maybe we talk about all these effects because there are a
Yeah.
lot of effects like this.
Yes. So
What do you think about these effects? I think it's probably harder to pull off than people might think.
it is.
Because yeah,
Um,
yeah,
you need loads of effects. You need lots of striker good matches in your deck because the
yeah,
one thing that the archetype is missing is like characters with repeated loot abilities. So like, let's say you had some sort of character that could just exert to draw and discard, it would be phenomenal, right? Like if you had some sort of semi-on rate thing that could also exert to draw and discard, or some sort of effect like that, where you can get this effect going. Um, I've been playing decks with Leviathan in it. I think Leviathan is a very powerful card, but it's way harder to pull this off than it looks. Like
uh-huh,
consistently getting these things. I found that in actually within the context of most games, the easiest and most reliable way to put 2 cards in my discard was just trading, just challenging with 2 things
uh-huh,
and sending them to their death, which is a good secondary enabler. But lots of these cards ask you to make that condition. It's hard to meet that condition every turn, right? That's the key thing, is that you can do it a couple of times, you can do it 3 times, but these payoffs are asking you to do this every single turn, which is tough. Um, and makes it hard as you play up the curve and try to move towards like Leviathaning your opponent, yeah, gets difficult, gets really difficult.
Yeah.
Is that kind of in line with
Um,
your thinking on it? Like,
yeah, I didn't test yet, so I can't really say that, but that's my feeling, yeah. But this is one of the because like what I thought about these payoffs, like if you trade, maybe you just deal with the board anyway, and then it's better to just deploy a cheap character like her than do something like
yeah,
remove another character or something, which you remove basically by challenging.
mm,
So I mean, and also she's not super terrible on turn 4. It's not like a super crazy, but I think
no,
she's one of the best like payoffs. Like I think
yeah,
because
definitely,
sometimes you really get that if you sing on turn 3, like with your I don't know anything, and you sing like strike good match and play this for 2 and another 1 drop or something. I think that's something your opponent has to deal with. I think.
mm,
Um, but yeah, the payoffs are probably it's harder to. I think I'm totally agree with you. Yeah.
yeah. It's not that it's like a tough
Uh,
condition to meet; it's that it's a tough condition to meet every turn. Um,
yeah. That's
Once you've like made a few plays, you will find yourself with like a Milo and a Leviathan in hand or something, and then like, right, where do I go from here? I I guess I'm inking and moving towards discarding my Leviathan to Milo. Okay, that's fine, but it's not really a game-winning play. Yeah, it gets harder as the game goes on, as you might expect.
yes. And one of my favorite cards of the set, which I'm the most excited to try out, is like, but it's probably not good enough, but I really like it. Is the Zipper? Maybe it's better than I think, but it's like the Zipper is like first of all, there's a
Mm,
1 cost 0/4, and there's a 4 cost shift 2/0/6,
yep.
which has a really cool effect. Also, like 0/6 quest for 2, which is also like a reasonable aggressive character. You shift that on turn 2 against some slower decks or something. That's like it's a clock.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever this character quests, you may add this his willpower to another chosen character's strength this turn. I tweeted about this because I think it's a crazy combo with the 2 cost Mulan,
Mm-hmm.
which is like quests for its strength. Like if you play Zipper on turn 1, Mulan turn 2, shift this on turn 3, you quest for 8 and have 10 willpower on the board, which your opponent has to deal with, which is also not the easiest task. I mean, it's not you play not you don't play every game against like Purple who curves into like hook into Calhoun into
Mm,
something. So it's like it's not like imagine you play against I mean, Bluffle is probably then over, but your opponent played T-Put turn 2, and then you quest with 10 willpower and quest for 8. Game is basically over. So I thought maybe there's a cool green-blue aggressive deck in the future, which I will try to make work,
yeah.
which also pairs really nice with like the Snowford
Mm-hmm.
because like Mulan gets a boost, and with there's a new gadget
Yep.
which can play items for free. So she can play Snowfall for free. So I think there's a lot of like synergy at least. That's like exciting for me to try out. I'm always like excited about some cool aggressive strategies that could work out. So like, and you could have like also like Ursula and the new Lenny, which could be counterplay to like Under the Sea and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe there is something um, that I want to try. I think. What
Yeah.
do you think about? You're probably very low on it, right?
No, I like
But
it. I again, I think it's like super cool kind of build around. It enables some different play patterns that to me, like I think obviously like the case with Mulan is like the clearest, most powerful thing you can do with this. But I
yeah,
try to think of like, is there anything else really, really good? Like what else can we do that gives big that benefit from having big strength? It's not much, but there are I don't want to play it with green, but I do think that is probably the best thing to do is to make that kind of deck you just talked about. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I
I
liked
mean,
it
you
for
can also
as a
like
character.
trade with your one cost, like
Yeah,
you could
exactly.
buff your one cost with this and then trade something. And I don't know. Um, the problem is a bit card draw. I looked at it. By
Mm,
the way, when we talk about card draw, people were bashing about this card, and I don't know why it's so terrible. Like there's a new legendary queen. I don't want to say
mm,
this card is good, yeah, but it's unconditional card draw in an aggressive deck. I don't know. I think this is a card that you can play in an aggressive deck. I don't know why people say this is the worst. This is far away from the worst legendary ever printed. Far,
yep.
very far away from me. I don't say it's necessarily good, but I don't think it's bad either. I think if you want to play unconditional card draw, this is like very similar to like I don't know the Dolores or something, but with so
Yeah.
it's like okayish. It's not good, but and always what you have in mind. The second effect, even an aggressive deck, I tell you, it's not never coming up because you have a lot of situations sometimes where you can't quest early. Um, so your opponent gets actually a lore lead when you play this, and then you quest out with her and all your other stuff. So we have so many frozen boards sometimes, and you
Hmm.
can't quest like even an aggressive deck. And then you play this, and it threatens to quest for 3, and you draw a card. Um, it's not a great card, but in a deck like this, like I mentioned, like with this green blue, which searches for card draw, that's like an okayish card in the deck. I think it's like I don't know. You probably laugh at me now, right? Or
No,
do you think it's like,
I completely
yeah, uh,
I don't think this queen. I don't see it being like a card that I'm going to sleeve up and play. But I completely disagree
yeah,
with the idea that it's like the worst legendary ever printed, or even the worst legendary in this set. It is
yeah,
like
for sure.
it's on par with Dolores Madrigal, which is a at
Yeah,
times playable card. Okay, like
yeah.
it's should it
It's
be a
not great.
legendary?
It's not
Should
great.
should it be a
Probably not.
legendary?
Yeah,
Almost certainly not. Should it be?
yeah,
But is it the worst legendary ever? No. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think
yeah.
it can be an interesting role player, and I think people are way too put off by these like potential
And
downsides
at
and
least,
mirrored effects and stuff.
and I at least like the appreciate the idea of printing unconditional card draw in in color combinations that if you want to play green blue, yeah, I mean if you play the other green blue which like has this clearable nonsense, yeah,
Mm,
but if you want to play a more aggressive or like another not clarable stuff, then I appreciate the printing of unconditional card draw and other than
yeah,
amethyst. At least I really appreciate that.
yeah, same. Good.
Yeah.
It's nice to have, definitely.
um what else do you have? Anything?
Yeah, two
I
cards
have
that I
some
think.
underrated cards, but sorry, yeah. First,
I think just something like a card that we already know is good, but I want to talk about from testing is Lenny. Um, we've
mm-hmm.
touched on it briefly. Like it's hard to look at Lenny and
Yeah,
think that card will be bad. Um, but then I think I even underestimated how it would feel to play with.
me
Like
too.
when you it makes songs, 3 cost and less songs, feel completely free to play. You exert it to sing and ready
Uh-huh,
it, and that's that. When you're in
uh-huh,
these stagnant boards, which is all the time in matchups, in virtually every matchup, like the boards just get frozen at the moment, and then you play towards a breaker. It is free to sing with Lenny. It is
uh-huh,
fully free. Strength costs you actually nothing. That downside of
uh-huh,
having an exerted character goes away, and that is huge, really, really huge.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
Massive difference maker in a lot of these games. So yeah, just wanted to flag up that Lenny is the real deal. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I didn't initially realize that you can sing with it and make it. I didn't realize that you can do that. I thought you have to quest with it or something, and then
Yeah.
play action and ready it or something. But yeah, that he can sing it. It's great card. It's also like the other deck that I have in mind for especially Infinity is like green purple, which you can
Hmm.
build now in a way um pretty aggressive. Like what I think is like very 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 popular is Seal Song and the discard decks,
Yep.
and you can um play now like for Ursulas and Lennies to really counter a lot of their stuff, while also playing the old green purple core with Webby, also against the blue decks, and yeah, all your gold stuff and go-go's and stuff. I think there could be that's what I will work on.
Hmm.
There could be a viable like if imagine you play against Silsong, you have eight Ursulas in your deck. I think I will not lose a single not I don't want to say not lose a single game because they can still top deck on your world, but it's like it feels so much easier with obviously more Ursos in the deck, and also like against these discard decks, you can really disrupt all that discard stuff. I think
Mm.
you can if you go Ursula into this, you even get the you have forgotten me with Lenny or something.
Yep.
So it's like I think you can build the deck in a way where and it this you can crab trade with this also play like decently with the Lenny. So that's what I will work on. And I think especially in Infinity, it's not a very crazy card or something, but in Infinity, there's a new green card that's also like really good, and that's like um I know it's like my issue that I always like vanilla overstated cards, but it's like the three cost Huntsman.
Yeah.
Trust me, the Huntsman is decent. It can run over aerials very very easy because with no real issue. The Huntsman is a good card. I think it's a three cost 4/3 ward. What is insane in Infinity. I can say that it's really insane that there's anything. Steelsong hates this. Green Yellow hates this. The only downside it's quest only for one, but I think this is a good card, and I will
Yeah.
work on something like that. That's my idea that I have with Green Purple in
Nice.
Infinity. I will try to make this work. I don't
Yeah.
know what's your first impression when you hear that?
What about the Huntsman?
But everything what I said right
Oh,
now,
okay. Everything about
what
green purple.
this,
To
yeah.
me, it makes a lot of sense. I think that like a lot of the most powerful things happening in Infinity are massively powered by songs. I think that you're completely right when you say that Ward is incredibly valuable in Infinity. And yeah, if I was playing against Steel Song, the sentiment that I would feel incredibly favored if I was playing 8 Ursulas. Yeah, that's true. That feels true to me. I would like to
Hmm.
sing Friends with Lenny and draw 2 for completely
Yeah,
0. So, I mean, I'm on board. You don't have to work too hard to convince me that
nice.
that's a good plan. That's yeah, and I do completely agree
Yeah, I
about the
want to.
Huntsman, by the way.
Oh, really?
I
I
think
would
it's
never have thought
amazing.
that. I okay. I thought. Oh, really? I could have before I say that I would have betted that you say like it's you otherwise you
It
fair
doesn't
vanilla cards and
it
stuff.
doesn't follow your normal feelings about fair vanilla cards because it's not uh it's not truly vanilla. It has
Is it?
Ward.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. It is like yeah, that's true. And I think it's an overstated war character. I think it's really
Yes.
overstated. I think,
Yeah, it's
and
Thomas
I
O'Malley plus
really,
1 willpower.
yeah, and that's really meaningful
Yeah.
because you run over areas. That's so
Yep.
valuable. Because it doesn't really mean it runs over aerials, but it means they don't sing with aerial. You know,
Hmm.
that's the important part for me because they don't think, okay, this Thomas O'Malley trades for aerial, but if I strength the other character, so I am okay with this 2-for-1 trade. They can't sing with it, and yeah, and then you can run, or even if they wheel, then you run over it, fox it, and stuff. So it's like yeah, you can do stuff with this, I think.
Mm.
And against these blue red decks, also very valuable because you this trades Sisus for free and removes the clock.
Yep.
Very very meaningful for your opponent. So this can't be removed from your opponent. So with B prep, yeah, but then B prep is never a card I really cared about, because if they B prep the board, I'm totally fine. What I really hated was their deploying fast clocks with Sisu and Tamatoas.
Mm,
So if they B prep, I really don't care. So if they can't remove this with Sisu, so because they can't coil it, so they play the Sisu, remove maybe my other stuff, but then this trades the Sisu, which makes their clock so much slower,
yep.
and that's what I really like about. I think it's a good card.
Yeah,
It's not a
totally
crazy
agree.
card or something, but it's like
No, it's yeah.
nice,
I in complete agreement with you. Yeah.
nice. And one other card, which I really was surprised how people evaluate it, but I think this time I'm really wrong probably. Um, is your Enchanted, which you drew, like Family Scattered.
Mm,
I thought I thought this is a good card when this got revealed, because I thought this is very, very, very close to a one-sided board wipe, and
mm-hmm.
um, people playing Raging Storm, and this is basically a one-sided Raging Storm, and I don't know what's bad about that, but maybe it doesn't
Hmm.
fit in the green strategy.
For
But it's so close to a one-sided board wipe. I don't think it's like I don't know. Maybe,
I,
maybe,
for me, I think
yeah. I don't know.
my problem with it is like the fact that obviously because they're choosing in a lot of these
Yeah,
board
but what do
states.
they?
A lot of these board states, there's always like one character that's particularly good if it comes back to their hand. Like
Mm, yeah,
it's
maybe. Yeah.
often everything they need to like. So you do this into a board that's like Cheshire Cat, Cobra, Dock, or something. They just pick up their Dock and then they
Mm,
rebuild. Or they could do the same with Demona, or they could do the same. The picking something back up into your hand enables you to like often really, really easily set yourself up for the rebuild, which makes it not a one-sided board wipe. Um, I think it's just
mm.
there's too much powerful on play stuff that pick up for them that's like self-directed. If you chose which one goes back to hand, I'm all in. But they choose.
But is it not like removing the clock in these decks, which is the meaningful part?
I guess so to some extent, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
don't know.
I'm really happy to be wrong here, but because I just, yeah, it's probably I'm misevaluating this, and I think probably what you say is more true than I think it is. Like, yeah, maybe it's totally right what you said, because the one card that goes back to hand is like punishing too much. Yeah, that can be. And another card. Oh, sorry. Or
Hmm.
what you do you want to? Do you have
No,
another
I've only
card,
got a couple left that I want to
or do
talk
you?
about.
Okay, yeah.
One of them
You
for
have a
me
couple
is
left. Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
one of them for me is our reveal roller bob. I think the card's really good,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I
and
could totally see that. I'm proud
yeah,
of that.
obviously we already talked about it, so we don't have to go into that again. But this is one of my
Yeah,
standouts. It
yeah,
does a fox impression pretty reliably. It's yeah, I've
yeah.
been happy. Yeah, roller bob's decent for sure.
And what I also could see post rotation be really good is, which people were bashing also, is like Kida.
Hmm.
I don't. I think people misevaluating this card. Um, you have like you play this in a very slow deck, and imagine you play this in blue green. So you play this or shift this. Both players get 5 ink, which is incredible. And you basically build your deck that you have more out of that than your opponent. Basically, this is
Mm,
obvious. And this repeatable effect is like then not costing you too much. I think people are too low on that. I think this could see play. I'm
yeah,
pretty
for
sure about
sure.
that.
Yeah,
Um,
completely agree.
but it's not a deck that I would like to play.
No, No.
Yeah, there are also like some other small cards. I don't know what do you have left? I think you got a friend in me, for instance. Like it's a good card for
Yep,
sure.
solid, very solid.
Yeah.
Really good enabler for that toys deck, and often you get to just sing it on your third turn because you play the bullseye on turn two. That you're
Uh huh.
generally pretty happy to turn sideways, and yeah, you get the cards flowing really fast. Um, it has the most
Yeah.
card draw of
Makes
any
sense.
Amber Ruby deck I've ever played. So it's solid. Um,
And I have only yeah. Sorry,
I've only got the Alien left on my list. Um,
Alien. Which Alien?
yeah, the one cost Emerald Alien that you don't like,
Ah.
and I
Yeah.
think is
And
just
what?
amazing.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I love it.
Um.
I love the combos that are enabled with it. So for anyone that hasn't seen, there's a combo with the Ruby Emerald Queen of Hearts, which puts the damage on something when it comes into play. If you have a if you have a Sid, if you have a Sid Phillips in play, then you essentially get to like if you have one alien in your discard and one in your hand, and then you have Sid and Queen in play. I realize it sounds like I'm saying like just imagine everything ever. It all goes perfectly. You have all these conditions met.
I
That's
didn't want to
doable.
say it.
Yeah. It means that from that point on, you essentially pay 1 ink to gain 2 lore. You play your alien, you put your counter from the queen straight onto the alien, banishing it gains 2 lore from Sid. The banish trigger from alien returns the second alien to your hand, and you cycle those. 1 ink equals 2 lore as many times as you can repeat that. Um, it's That's probably not its primary use case, but I really do like this card. It punches for 2 and 3 a lot. Late game, you just start cycling them and can do very reasonable, fair things with them. They're a great outlet from anything that you want to banish your own stuff, whether it's to a Sid or whatever. I like this alien. It's a card I'm excited to play with.
That's totally reasonable. Um. Yeah. Yeah. I'm probably too low on that card. That's very likely. And the only card I think which could affect Infinity, or nearly the only card, is like there's a new Diablo which
Mm,
is really good. I think for Diablo decks for Green Steel, basically because it's like the best. You have another shift target, which also synergizes very crazy good with the deck. There's a 2 cost 1/3 quest for one. While you have a villain character in play, which you play a bunch of, in like Green Steel Infinity, this character gets +2 strength and +1 willpower. So it's basically a 3/3 quest for two. It's
mhm.
basically the red Diablo. Then I realized, um, and and while this character's excited, your villain characters can be changed. It's a very decent card, and it's also another shift target for the Diablo,
Mhm.
which the Green Steel deck was like searching for another shift target,
Yep.
which is also like crazily bad or something. So I think this will see if Green Steel is one of the decks in Infinity. I think this is slam dunk in the deck. I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
it feels,
what do you think?
on
Yeah.
one side, it
Yeah.
feels like more copies of Mr. Smee, 2 cost, 3/3 quester.
Hmm.
Um, on the other side, it feels like extra shift targets for Diablo. It's both of those things. It also enables some like particularly horrible things, like the fact that you could actually sing with your Prince John or something, and then it still has ward and can't be challenged because it's a villain. Um, so just takes a gross card and makes it even grosser. The villain text is probably the least relevant part, but I think I think
Yeah.
it does multiple things that like potentially an Infinity deck wants to do. So yeah, if you're
Yeah.
looking for things,
But still, Prince John is a villain, for instance. And if your opponent plays a Demona or something, and you have this and Prince John, then they can't challenge the Prince John, for
yeah,
instance.
exactly.
There's a
That's what,
bit of
yeah,
there's a bit of use case for the second effect. It's for sure a good card. I think in the deck. Um,
yeah. I like it.
yeah, and I think, do you have anything else?
No, I think that's probably it for my
I
list
think.
on the first pass. Like there are, I've not gone into detail about all the individual toy cards, for example, and there's lots of things that we've kind of looked
Hmm.
at as a suite rather than looking at them individually.
This will be. I'm pretty sure this will be your time. I know that. This will be you. You will cook people.
Yeah, it's really hard because I want to
Um,
like play post rotation already, but that's obviously not possible for multiple reasons. But yeah, it's
oh,
there's something there.
the only card left is maybe the Hercules, which I
Oh
really
yeah.
doubt that this is a good card. I don't think this is a good card, but maybe I think it's so much worse than Dog for me, incredibly worse. But maybe it's playable. The problem is people. I saw twitters about this. Oh, you can, if you need it, you get a B prep bag or something. If you ever pick with this B prep, you cannot lose more the game. You discarded your hand, and you get the B prep back, which you with you which with all you with also you blow up your board. So you basically um, blow up your hand and your board, and then you want to win with out of these positions. So this is the worst use case for the card. Maybe, yeah, with dog stuff or something. So you play this and dog, but it's like very awkward to play both. I don't know. I don't see that card. But I'm maybe too low on it.
Mm,
Um,
I mean, I
maybe
think
I don't see the combos,
the combo
which
deck with
I
it in
sometimes.
Infinity, I think, is really cool. The red green combo that like loops it using muses and uses it to ready, um,
I'm happy to play against
makes
that.
some
I can
heroes.
tell you.
Yeah, I think it's something that's going to catch a lot of people off guard, especially at first until
Yeah.
people
Okay.
learn to
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
around
That's
it.
true. Yeah.
I think it's probably a lot better than it looks on paper. I think the actual lines are very interesting. I think it's a resilient, hard to interact with combo deck. Um, that
Yeah.
honestly people
Maybe I'm too
won't
low on
be
that.
they
Yeah.
won't be prepped particularly well to play against it when these DLCs come around. And you may very well, if you're proficient with that deck, have an opportunity to take a lot of people by surprise. It's kind of the best position for a combo deck to be in. Um, yeah, I think it's really
Yeah.
cool,
Maybe
and it looks strong to me. Like it's not
looks strong to you. Yeah.
it just has like a bunch of the best ward cards, and then has this like crazy combo finish, and just I don't know. It just to me looks cool. I would be interested in testing it if I was going to play Infinity. Like I would be
So the combo is
wanting to play that deck.
shark. The combo is the shark. Or what is the combo exactly?
The
Can you
combo
explain?
is the. Let me pull it up. I don't know if
It's
it's a
shark, right? You
Hera.
need shark also.
I don't think you necessarily need
Helga.
a shark. No.
With I don't know. I know what you mean. Like the yeah. The from Hercules. The I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, the warded two quester which gets ready every time.
yeah. Ready whenever you play a Hercules, and then everything. You sing with something. The Muses targets the Hercules. That readies the characters again. That means that you can then replay the Hercules, buy back like whatever song, whether it's like Bibbidi Bobbidi or whatever it is. You get
Yeah,
this cycle going with these. Yeah, I've not seen it in play enough, but if the pieces come together, it becomes pretty clear. Um, yeah, I mean
yeah. No,
it's a
I
kind
know
of
what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
kind of deck that
Let me.
excites me. Like I'm more excited about that sort of thing than I am for many other kind of like whatever the particularly powerful kind of amber emerald slop is for the whatever the dog's variant that just turns sideways is. I just don't care. But if you show me a cool combo deck like that, I can get excited about that.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the fact that both are warded, like Muses and and the
Yep.
Megara, is for sure cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
Nice.
a nice innovation. It's like nice to see people thinking really deeply about the wide card pool and taking completely unplayable cards and turning them into an engine. I like that. That interests and excites me for sure.
Nice. Okay, I think we covered everything. Um, yeah, next week I think we will come up with some deck lists. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
Um, I mostly for Infinity, and you basically for maybe core or like
Yep.
post rotation, or yeah, we can look what we can come up with.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I think we covered everything. Do you have anything to add?
No, no. I think just looking forward to getting some more testing in for core. I'll bring some core lists next time, even if it's just a couple. I think I want to focus in on a couple of
Yeah,
specific decks to talk about. I have more detailed thoughts about the toys deck to share and some of the ways that people are building it and how I think it should be built, or at least how I'm enjoying playing with it. And yeah, looking forward to doing that next week.
nice. Okay, everybody. Then we can only say thank you for watching, like always, and we are excited for next week. And thanks for watching. And bye bye.
Bye bye.